What's up, guys? Welcome to Kind of Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, July 3rd, 2018. I am Tim Gettys, joined by the Reverend Jared Petty.
Doki doki, my friends.
How you doing?
Still recovering from prom.
Oh, it was such a good time. You were not Andrea Renee. I was wrong, and I was looking at the calendar all incorrect. I have no idea what day it is. Now I do. It is Tuesday. It is not Andrea Renee. It is Jared Petty. It's going to be a good day.
I surprised him. I am Andrea Renee
my God.
in a Jared suit.
Is there more backlight going on than normal, Kev? I feel like we don't normally have that middle one on.
No, we definitely do.
We do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a
my hair's
magical
looking
sheen.
good. I'm liking that.
You just got good hair. I love that haircut.
It's like a halo. I fucking love it. Speaking of Halo, this didn't make the news stories today, but on Reset Era, there's a thread of a bunch of videos and screenshots of Master Chief Collection running in 4K on the Xbox One X with the new patch coming out and stuff. Oh my God, that game, like all those games look beautiful in 4K.
Really?
Like, even Halo 2, like it's the anniversary edition, up-res and stuff, but it's like, this looks fantastic. And Halo 4 in 4K 60, I'm like, this looks like a current gen game, man.
Wow, I can't wait to see that.
What do we got here? This is Kind of Funny Games Daily, each and every weekday right here on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. We get together, talk about all of the video game news that you need to know about. You can watch it live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. You can watch it whenever you want on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, or you can listen to it on podcast services around the globe. You just go to the podcast service of your choice, including Spotify, and type in Kind of Funny Games Daily. We'd really appreciate it if you liked it, subscribed, commented, did all of the different calls to action that you're very familiar with at this point. If you want to be part of the show, you can go to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong and let us know what we get wrong as we do the show. If you want to be part of a show in the future, you can go to kindoffunny.com/KFGD to leave your squad up, to leave your reader mail, to do a whole bunch of fun things and get involved in this big, beautiful show. Let's talk about some housekeeping real quick. Greg Miller is in Montreal all week. He is doing a meet and greet on Thursday, July 5th from 5 to 8 p.m. How the hell is Greg going to leave America on the 4th of July?
Well, I mean, I think that's actually, he can appreciate it even more from there.
No,
I don't know.
From outside looking in, his heart will long for his American soil, his American heritage.
Yeah.
It'll long for baseball games and hot dogs. It'll long
Will
for
Smith on TV.
expensive health insurance. And he'll just be like, you know what? Here in this land of socialism, I dream of America. That's what he's going to think.
That sounds like Greg Miller. Does sound like Greg Miller. And more importantly than that, you have a new video up on Hop, Flip, and a Jump.
Oh, I don't think that's more important.
3 lessons. I think it's certainly more important.
3 games, 3 lessons. That's right. I just made a new Hop, Flip, and a Jump video. I think it's good. I hope you'll watch it because so far very few have. I'd appreciate you taking about 6 minutes of your life to look at that. It's over on youtube.com/Hop, Flip, and a Jump, or just go to hopflipjump.com right now. But it's about lessons that games teach us about living better. The last episode was about death. This one's about life. And the next one's about dreams. So I hope you enjoy it. I think it's good, and I think it's different than what's happening right now. And so far, approximately 1,160 of you think it's good. And that's not a sustainable number. So please go watch that.
This episode is sponsored by Brooklinen, but we will get to that later. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. That was an attack.
I was trying to tough my way through it.
Your voice is back.
Yeah, I know, but I can't hit all the sounds that I can normally make.
His voice is
for
back.
Some news.
Yours is gone though. Yours is pretty. It's a little throaty right now. I mean, you have dulcet tones, but it's definitely a little gone.
We have 3 news stories today.
A baker's dozen.
That's damn right. First news story. You put this on here. This comes from Brittany Vincent over at Twinfinite. No surprise there. Amazon Prime no longer offers 20% discount on re-releases and remasters.
Yeah.
Amazon appears to have changed its rules regarding its famous 20% off discount for Amazon Prime pre-orders. It looks like the terms and conditions for the program has changed to no longer including re-releases and remasters. So if you're thinking about using it to get some cash off Shenmue 1 or 2 or anything similar to those games in the future, you can be out of luck. Previously, Amazon had removed the 20% discount from special editions and recently released games, and now the subsection of titles this deal has been applied to continues to shrink. With the Best Buy Gamers Club subscription having gone the way of the dinosaur, folks are understandably concerned that these caveats will continue to be added until there's only a very small subsection of titles left that will be eligible for the discount.
Probably don't need to read that last sentence because it's related to a screenshot that's not in the article. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this, Big Jared?
My thoughts on this are that I'm a hypocrite. Amazon is terrible. It provides us wonderful, wonderful deals on everything, and in the process destroys all business. And I use it anyway because it's so darn cheap.
It's wonderful.
However, if it continues to make itself less and less, this is the problem with monopolies. The more of a market share you capture, the less you have to give to hold on to that market share. And so the deals tend to get less and less good over time. I look at this and I think we're not entitled to any kind of discount. Amazon can charge whatever they want for anything they want, but I don't have to buy it there. I've been buying things through Amazon this year because of the convenience of it. It's nice having something delivered to my door, but I play a lot of remasters and a lot of collections. Those are some, I probably buy more of those than just about anything because I really like historical gaming. This is bad news for me. And when I have to make that value call, well, I should probably be going out anyway to my local game store and buying stuff from them. I should probably be supporting my local business anyway.
What
and
local
I'm just too
business
lazy to do it.
would you support?
Probably Phoenix Games in Concord, which is a...
So you'd go real out of the way.
Yeah. Okay. Why not just make one trip a month up there to Phoenix and buy the games I really want anyway? Go out there and actually support that store. I think that that's important. Or if not that, then heck, people at Target need, jobs, and that means I need to buy things from them. But just plan those trips out, go up there, pick up all my games at once. That sounds ridiculously anachronistic for this day and age, but which is better, to gradually continue to support a megalithic corporation that, through all reports, treats its workers like crap and gradually becomes less and less of a good deal for us every day, or to get a little out of the way and, spend a little more money and a little more time actually supporting people whose work I care about.
I know we've argued about the Amazon debate many times on this show, so I'm not going to get into all that. But what I do want to get into is you saying it's becoming less and less of a good deal over time. I feel like in this case that's true, but this is all of these great deals, the 20% off, that didn't always exist, and they add that stuff over time. And I feel like the deals do just kind of fluctuate and change with how things are fluctuating and changing in the industry. Eric writes in and says, "Hey guys, today Cheap Ass Gamer on Twitter showed Amazon added more to its list of ineligible games for Prime discounts. My question: how do I make my voice heard here? I have really gotten annoyed recently with Amazon between issues with my packages being shipped late and the Sony situation. I've written a few times recently because you can't even buy Detroit on Amazon. Spider-Man's ineligible for pre-order still, and God of War was third party only for quite some time, meaning it wasn't from Amazon proper, it was just from Amazon third-party stores. Help me, KFGD. You're my only hope." All of this,
buy elsewhere.
Well, buy elsewhere, but I feel like it's things like this. There's a lot of business stuff going on at Amazon that is causing the deals to change and things to be moved around. Digital is changing things, totally changing things. And it's like when Sony can control everything and kind of say, you know what, we don't need you, Amazon, for this. We're going to Sony's the ones making it complicated for Amazon. That's why these issues are happening. And it's like the more bullshit going on, the more Amazon needs to adapt. And it's like that, to me, is the biggest problem. Is like we for years had the issue with Nintendo. We couldn't get Nintendo consoles from Amazon. And it's like that was just so annoying because for people that are used to buying, like I had to then go to Target or Best Buy to buy the 3DS when I wanted to get one. And it's just like those little inconveniences add up and make me not like Amazon. But it's not their fault. It was Nintendo's fault.
Whoever's fault it is, though, there's a powerful rule, I believe, to sales, which is once you give people something, once they get used to it, you can't take it away without penalty, even if it's not your fault. When you create a program like that, you have to understand you're going to have to deal with the pain when it can't stay around forever. The McRib is back is the exception, not the rule of retail. The plain fact of the matter is that once I've become used to having a product for a certain price, when you begin charging more for it, it becomes less appealing. And I'm going to blame you, not the people who are causing that problem, because you're the one that first gave it to me. And I've come to expect it. There's a degree of entitlement in that.
Totally.
But again, it's entirely a risk-reward factor with any retail loyalty, period.
Yeah.
So why not re-examine other options? And again, some of this is just me being a big old grumpy man about Amazon.
I guess that's the thing.
And a hypocrite.
It's like, then enjoy the 20% discount on a ton of new games, just not all the new games, and then go to support whoever for the games that you can't. You know what I mean? It's like, this is still a ridiculously good deal.
Oh yeah, the Amazon that's how they get you. I mean, they offer better deals than anyone else because they can do it at scale, and that's it's a monopolistic model. I'm not going to speak for or against the moral and ethical and economic concerns of monopolies here, but their strategy from the very beginning has been lose a ton of money destroying your competitors, then charge what you want.
The biggest issue I've seen with Amazon recently is the guarantee of pre-ordering a game, getting it day one. And in the last couple months, that has not been the case. A lot of games have been coming the next day, 2 days later after they come out. And it's like, that is not sustainable. And that is an issue where you're not getting what you are actually paying for. It's not like the policies changed on the shipping.
Yeah.
So they need to figure all that shit out. I don't know. It's interesting watching Best Buy Gamers Club Unlocked go away and all this. It's like, yeah, when there isn't competition in that direct fashion of these 20% deals and all that, things are going to change, and I wonder what it's going to look like once even more digital storefronts like Steam, like whenever the Steam equivalent on the console side gets figured out,
wherever that happens,
it's going to really change things.
It is. I don't know if it'll change it for good or for ill. I'm just not sure yet, but I do think it'll be interesting to see how it affects this marketplace.
And things like Games Pass.
In the meantime, I want my 20% off my next Blue Point game.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get it because I'm grumpy.
Yeah. Kev, what do you got for us?
I was just gonna ask something about. I feel like recently I've had a problem with Amazon Prime not sending it in 2 days, and like there is no way, right, to like, there's no button to press to be like, hey, it didn't get here in 2 days, and it's supposed to.
I don't know.
You can complain and shit, and then I've been reimbursed for things when I haven't got it. Yeah, totally. And that's the thing is like, their customer service to me has always been awesome. Where there was that one time I didn't get a package, and then they just sent me another one, and then eventually the first one came too, so I had two of it. It was something that I didn't need two of, but it was like a printer. So I
have no complaints about Amazon's service when it comes to what they've promised me. Generally speaking, they deliver on what they tell me they're going to give me at any one particular moment. That's never been my problem with them. I don't want to present them as some kind of crappy realtor. They really do offer excellent service for what they provide.
Next news story. This comes from Christopher Dring at GamesIndustry.biz. The Switch version of Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is actually the fastest selling Switch game released this year.
What?
Tim Gettys.
Yeah.
Get hype.
Get fucking hype. This is crazy. I mean, this happened last year with when the game originally came out on PlayStation 4, and it was like, how the fuck is it selling this well? And it all started with the UK sales charts, and then it later was kind of coming out with the NPD and seeing it on the Amazon charts. Let me read you a little something here that we can discuss, Jared. Last summer's smash success story is back as Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy returns to #1 in the UK charts for an 8th time. This week, the Xbox One version was the best-selling version, but it only beat the Switch edition by 250 copies. That is so fucking close. The UK physical sales alone totaled more than 500,000 copies. This Switch version of Crash is actually the fastest selling Switch game released this year, although that's perhaps not too surprising considering its lower than usual price point of $40. The game's improved performance means that the big new entry this week had to be satisfied with second place. The Crew 2 by Ubisoft has so far failed to impress the critics, and the game's launch sales are less than 25% of what the original game achieved back in December 2014. Less than 25%.
Itayo.
It's worth noting that the Crew launched in a very different release window and at a time when digital wasn't quite as strong. Those numbers only count physical. Also, the Crew found its audience over time via constant updates and improvements to the game. In other words, don't count the Crew 2 out just yet.
So are we just going to write this off to the weird, long given European love for plasticky cartoon characters in their video games? Can we just write it off to that?
What's that a reference to?
Oh, no, I'm not kidding. Weirdly, if you look at European developed games, the kind of mascot platformers we'd identify around Crash, those games have historically done very well in Europe, and a lot of them have originated in Europe, in France and England, places like that. These kind of like zany, cartoony characters are a big part of historical European game development. And a lot of games there do still center around these kind of characters, and they've historically done very well. But I do think the price point's probably more important here. Also, the fact that Crash is just good, right? I mean, that's some of it.
That's debatable, but
you think not?
I mean, good's a fine word to use for that, but it's definitely triggers a lot of positive nostalgia in people. But I think the price point has a lot to do with it, but I don't think that we can chalk it up to that because it's not that much cheaper than other games.
Okay.
Right. $40 on the Switch. It's like, yes, there's a lot of $60 games, but there is also a lot of $20 games as well. And they don't see these type of sales numbers.
I mean, how much of this is Conquer and Chucky Egg syndrome then? Just here we have a cute character that's recognizable and we want to do something we enjoy. It may just be nostalgia factor plus a friendly marketplace. This is a very European style game.
Yep. And it's not just doing good in Europe. So I was looking at the Amazon charts and it's very high on those as well, on the top US gaming charts on Amazon. It's like those charts have been dominated by Nintendo games for a while, like pretty much since the Switch came out.
Yeah.
And yeah, to see Crash this high, it's just like, man, like when Crash was coming out, I remember seeing the first thread that was like, holy shit, it's selling super well on PS4.
Yeah.
And I was like shocked. I was like, there was so many doubters of Crash, and like Andrea Renee was like this is nice for you, Tim, but like this isn't gonna move the needle. Yeah, it did. It drastically changed things. I think seeing this success on the Switch, and it sounds like Xbox as well. I really expect us to not only see a new Crash soon, but I do expect to see Spyro make its way to Switch as well.
Well, some of it I think is just that void in the 3D platformer space. I mean, that really is part of it as well. There's not as many 3D platformers as there were a few years ago. There's a generation that grew up on that kind of game. I think what we might be about to see, Tim, is very similar to what happened about 10, 12 years ago with the rise of 2D side-scrolling platformers and the fact that genre vanished for about 10 years. I mean, yes, there were few and far between ones that popped up, but then suddenly you had Super Meat Boy, and then suddenly you had, and on and on and on. Then
well,
these
I mean,
games
even think
became
about like look at Mario, right?
Yeah.
We got Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, and then we didn't get a new 2D Mario platformer until New Super Mario Bros. On the DS
around 2006.
And 2006,
right?
that's a 20-year gap.
20 or 10-year gap. 10-year gap.
Yeah, 10-year gap.
10-year gap,
Yes.
yeah. And now I think we're seeing the same thing happen. First you had Ukulele, and now you've got Crash, and people are like, hey, this is...
Mario
of course,
Odyssey.
Mario Odyssey, yeah.
Yeah.
And so people like this kind of game. They grew up on it. It's been neglected. The games are not that expensive to make relative to a AAA game right now. So why not produce something there's obviously a huge demand for? I mean, yes, I can go make my game as a service game and hope that I'm... The games as a service push makes a lot of sense to me. But I think something that I don't hear enough people talking about yet is that there are only so many games as a service that can succeed at any one time. You can release 6 AAA games as a service at once, but you're not going to find markets for all 6 of those. Half of them are going to fail. So if you're an investor right now and you're like, yeah, sure, everybody wants games as a service, get our money. But meanwhile, you look at these under-tapped markets where there's obviously demand. You go, I could just make a cheap, solid single-player 3D platformer for a tenth of what I'd spend on my games as a service game, and I can walk away with a sure thing in terms of my investment.
Well,
I think we'll see more of it.
It's Activision, and they're doing both.
Yeah.
They have Destiny and they have Crash.
But I think you'll see more of this stuff.
Yep. Next news story, Fortnite Playground mode is finally out alongside new update. This comes from Oscar Dayus at GameSpot. Fortnite Battle Royale has gained another new mode as the Playground LTM, that means limited time mode, is now live. The mode first launched a few days ago but was taken down soon after due to server problems. Thankfully, the issues have been resolved and the mode is available to play on PS4, Xbox One, PC, Nintendo Switch, and mobile. Unlike previous LTMs, Playground is intended to be a low-pressure environment that acts much like a private server. It allows players to explore the map and play around with up to 3 friends, free from the risk of being eliminated by other people. Each Playground match lasts for 1 hour, and the storm circle won't begin closing in on the map until 55 minutes have passed. Friendly fire is enabled, although players will respawn immediately unless eliminated by the storm. There's also much more loot to find. Meanwhile, Fortnite has another content update available now. It adds the drum gun for Battle Royale and stink bomb for Save the World, as well as special American-themed cosmetics in celebration of the United States Independence Day, July 4th.
Shout out to Greg Miller in Canada, July 4th.
So, I'm not a big Fortnite guy. Pretty much the rest of the office is now.
Got all that exciting Fortnite-ness going on.
Including Nick Scarpino, which is very weird.
He's been won over.
I am not the type of gamer to understand why this is important. So I need somebody to explain to me. Let me know in kindoffunny.com/you're wrong.
I mean, I can tell you what.
It's kind of digital danger room.
Go for it, Kevin.
Right?
So,
Kevin, that's kind of it, right? It's a danger room, right?
Yeah, kind of. Where it's like, So building is like a difficult concept.
Okay, there
And
you go.
What this allows is for you to learn how to build.
Practice building,
Yeah, 'cause,
find the
like,
spots.
Yeah, building in the wild is difficult because you've got a bunch of people fucking coming and blowing shit up, and it takes a long time to really get good at it. But this allows you to like learn how to on the fly build a little structure around yourself, do whatever you want, like learn how to build up. So yeah.
That makes
It's
sense.
the danger room.
That makes a lot of sense.
Go in there, work with your friends, team up, learn to do new things, learn the map, learn to build. Yeah.
Are you planning on getting into Fortnite at any point?
I don't see how I can continue to do my job and not.
Yeah.
That's really where I am. I mean, it's kind of like when Minecraft was in its apex. I felt like you just had to at least touch the pulse of it. And in the case of Minecraft, I got sucked right in. Fortnite is not my kind of game because it involves playing with other people in a cooperative way. Like squatting up is ironically my least favorite thing to do in all of gaming. I like playing multiplayer games where I don't have to cooperate with friends, or I like playing multiplayer games where all I do is cooperate with friends against an AI.
Yeah.
If I have to team up with people against other people, it starts to feel like work because I'm the weak link, inevitably, and I just want to cry. But it's a beautiful game that jillions of people enjoy, and I need to learn more about it, or I'm not going to be able to do my job right now.
Fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It's great. It's fantastic. I maybe I should just drop in unsquatted and just lose constantly. I mean that may be the thing to do.
I think you should find a little squad to play with.
I don't like playing with squads of people.
But that's the thing. It like this game. I don't know. It feels silly, and it's not like PUBG in my opinion, where like the pressure of winning is real.
I've watched Nick
much.
Scarpino play this game with Andy Cortez, so I'm not sure I agree with you.
Nick Scarpino's a crazy man.
That's
Jared,
fun.
one day, maybe you'll be good at Fortnite. But until then, if I wanted to know what games were coming out today, where would I look?
I'd look at the official list of upcoming software across each and every platform as listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily show hosts each and every weekday. Nice.
Out today, GTA 5 Independence Day bundle is available from July 3rd through 9th.
I always enjoy that.
Yeah?
Yeah, they put together a good 4th of July bundle usually. They've done that since the very first year of GTA 5. And it's fun. They had a lot of neat stuff, get them fireworks flying around. It's a good thing to do.
Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered.
That's so good! Remastered is my favorite.
It's my least favorite. I usually like stupid things like that.
Beautiful pun. Yeah. So Red Faction Guerrilla, did you play it?
No.
Oh, Tim, that game's good.
Coming out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
That's right. And that's a game about wrecking stuff with a hammer.
Okay, what is it?
Okay.
Red Faction Guerrilla. Is that the name of the game?
Yeah, Red Faction Guerrilla is the name of the game.
And it takes place on Mars.
It takes place on
So
Mars,
that's why
so it's remastered. Okay,
got it.
But it's really, really simple, single player type setup where it's built around destructible environments.
What platform did it come out on?
Originally, I believe I think it was originally a 360 PS3.
So this
PC
isn't
game.
the original Red Faction.
This is Red Faction Guerrilla.
Got
it. Which I played on PC. That's how I originally played it. Cool. And I believe, I don't want to say the wrong news here, but I'm almost positive that if you already own it on Steam, you get the remaster for free. I need to go home and check right now, but I believe that's what happens.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I am going to play this again because I had a lot of fun with this game when I first played it.
And finally, Runbow is out on Switch.
Oh.
Runbow seems like a game very up your alley.
Runbow? I haven't played Runbow.
Do you know what it is?
No, I know nothing about it. Please tell me about Runbow.
It's a platformer that you go through, and the colors are constantly changing on like the platforms.
Okay.
And you need to you can only be on certain certain colors depending on. It's kind of like Luminous if it was a platform.
Oh, look, we got a trailer popping up here. Okay, so it's a side scroller. Okay, side scrolling platformer.
Yeah,
all right.
and so like the colors just change, and you see the orange just went, so it caused those platforms to come. But then
do
when
you
they
have
go, it goes
control over
away.
the colors, or
Somebody does.
No, I think it happens randomly, doesn't it?
Oh,
it's just constantly
wow.
switching. So if the pink was standing on a pink platform, or he was jumping off it, had he been standing, he would have fallen, right?
We got to do a party mode of this.
Oh, I like
I can't believe
this.
we didn't. We had them on
GDC
years
2015.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just about trying to be the first to the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
It's similar to Speedrunners.
All right.
Yeah.
Nah, this looks like a lot of fun. Oh yeah, this is really cool.
Oh no. So I guess you can jump on your own color. But it's just the background changes the platforms that you can.
Wow, love
access.
that.
Some new dates for you. Shenmue 1 and 2 remasters get a release date. This comes from Major Nelson. The HD collection will come out on August 21st and will be available on Xbox One, PC, and PS4. You can pre-order the collection now for $30. The re-release will feature an updated user interface for both titles, as well as modern and classic controls, Japanese audio, and scalable screen resolutions. Jared?
Tim Gettys,
Yes.
Would you mind reading that first sentence one more time? I just need to hear it again.
The HD collection will come out on August 21st.
Hallelujah, hallelujah,
Not for
God
20%
of
off.
glory, Lord of glory. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. Shenmue, love it or hate it. If you love it, you're right. If you hate it, you're wrong. It's a weird game, but man, I love it. 1985 Japanese port town, realistic to a painful fault, down to the point you have to get a job and drive a forklift around, but also an invested, fascinating world where you open a drawer and there's something in every one of them. And it is a weird, deep, strange game that is absolutely worth checking out. Plus, you can go to the arcade and play old Sega games.
That's cool.
Yeah. Although if you play them too long and don't go to work, you get in trouble. So,
See? I
Odd
don't know
game.
about that.
Shenmue, big fan.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you haven't played it, you can check it out on August 21st.
Dreamcast forever.
Microsoft announces Xbox One, PUBG, and Minecraft console bundles. This comes from Nick Santangelo at IGN. Microsoft announced today 2 new Xbox One console bundles. Available starting today are the Xbox One X PUBG bundle and the Xbox One S Minecraft bundle. The $500 PUBG bundle has a download code for PUBG and a 1-month trial, passes for Xbox Live Gold and Xbox Game Pass. Meanwhile, the $300 Minecraft Xbox One S bundle has a download code for Minecraft, a code for Season 1 of Minecraft Story Mode, The Complete Adventure, a 1-month Xbox Game Pass trial, and a 2-week Xbox Live Gold trial pass. Both bundles feature the standard console and controller color schemes with no added styling specific to their games.
Tim Gettys, do you own an Xbox One X?
I do.
You do.
I love it dearly.
Yeah. So I love my Xbox One. Great console. And I think the Xbox One X, fascinating console. I have not been able to bring myself to buy an Xbox One X, one, because I'm cheap, but two, if I'm being really honest with myself, because of the stupid name. I actually think I haven't bought an Xbox One X because I hate the name so much.
You didn't get it because you don't like pretty graphics and you don't like nice TVs.
I do love pretty graphics.
Do you?
I love beautiful graphics. Absolutely. Graphics are great.
But
Big
is
fan
your
of the
TV
graphics.
720 Max?
Yeah, it is right now. But if I got an Xbox One X, I'd get one of those nice TVs.
You should do all that stuff.
Yeah, I could.
It's great. If you
Could
have
be
the
lovely.
means, I highly
But
recommend
it's
it.
got such a dumb name.
I don't know, man.
Xbox One X.
It's
Tell me
abbrevi-
honestly, you were in the pitch meeting and that's the best they could come up with.
It says Xbox in it.
Yeah. I mean,
good.
so does Xbox Poop, but
No, but I'm saying like it spells out the acronym is Xbox.
Xbox
One
One.
X.
Yeah, that's not clever.
Xbox One X is way better than Xbox One S. Let's just.
That's
fucking be
also
real.
bad. But Xbox, no,
Okay.
I don't think it's better. I don't think you call your next thing. Why was it like Xbox Next?
X is cooler than S. Period. We can all agree.
X
Kevin,
is a
can
cool
we
letter.
agree?
Yep.
X gonna give it to you, Jared.
Look at that. Oh, look at those. One.
hold
X.
on.
Oh wait, we got that. There we go.
Hold on. I want to get it better. All right, it's fine.
This is
Oh,
good.
that's lovely.
Have
I like
you seen
that a
this?
lot.
Have you seen this?
There's an image with one Xbox box.
I'm showing them the image.
I'm for audio
Got it.
listeners.
Got it.
One Xbox One Xbox One box, one Xbox One X, and one Xbox One X box.
Yeah, did you ever see Brendan Tyrell's tweet the day the Xbox One X came out that he was going to unbox the Xbox One X at the Xbox One X unboxing? Like that was their
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, that was,
Here
I thought that
we
was very
are.
cute. Shout out to Brendan Tyrell of IGN.
Some new 2DS XLs
Yay!
are coming out. But not for us, Jared.
What?
Not for us.
No!
Japanese and European fans of the Animal Crossing franchise will be able to purchase a special edition New Leaf Nintendo 2DS XL by the end of the summer.
But it's the 4th of July. Why isn't it coming to America?
2 other special edition designs inspired by familiar titles will be launching in Japan in the coming months too. The Animal Crossing New Leaf model comes in a cool green color with etched out fruit and pine trees. They surround the franchise's familiar leaf design that is hollowed out into the center. The special edition 2DS XL will come with a digital version of New Leaf preloaded onto it. Japanese customers can get it July 19th, and according to a tweet from Nintendo UK, European fans can get their hands on it the next day on July 20th. Customers in Japan will also have the option to buy a Minecraft Creeper Edition 2DS XL and a Mario Kart 7 themed one as well. These two models haven't been announced for any other markets, so fans in Europe and America will have to wait it out and see if they'll be available to get. The Minecraft version features the green-bodied exploder's face. The front of the device showcases raised blocks that give the polygonal pain in the butt a more textured shell. The Mario Kart 7 design looks like your standard kart tire with the classic Nintendo red color bordering the treads. Like the Animal Crossing edition, both devices come with their respective games preloaded. The Mario Kart 1 arrives in the same day as Animal Crossing on July 19th, while the Minecraft version will be coming a few weeks later on August 2nd.
A Minecraft 2DS.
That's the most interesting thing about all of this.
Yep.
We're starting to see this Nintendo-Microsoft partnerships, these friendships happening, blossoming on the battlefield.
Exactly. And I like it. I like it a
I'm
lot.
in. I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in. I want a Creeper 2DS. This is not fair. This is I call this an international travesty, an injustice, as it were. Is this a reverse tariff? Is that what this is? Is this a response to the Trump trade war?
I can tell you, I don't want this shit. I don't want this shit.
You don't want a Creeper 2DS?
Do not give me more 2DSs. I get it. You're making money. Stop. Give me a fucking Switch. Make Minecraft Joy-Cons. Just do that. Just do that.
Minecraft Joy-Cons would be cool too. I just want a Joy-Con with a freaking D-pad. But that's,
yeah, let's get on that.
That'd be all right.
Let's figure all that out.
That sounds good.
But yeah, it's interesting. It's cool. And if if you're in the market for a 2DS, I think having a Mario Kart 7 bundle makes a lot. I think all three of these bundles make a lot of sense for the target audience that they'd be going for with these.
Yeah, I didn't need to know this existed because I'm probably going to spend too much on that Creeper.
You're such a monster.
2DS. 2DS is a great platform.
Like what you like.
Exactly.
It's time for Reader Mail. Brought to you by Brooklinen. Let me tell you about Brooklinen. These are the best sheets I've ever slept on, Jared. That is not a lie.
Yeah.
I sleep on them every night. I love them. I love them very much. I got blue sexy stripes on mine.
Ooh.
She's a big fan of them.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of her. So her liking these sheets, very important to my life.
I like that. I like how you're able to connect. It's kind of like Kevin Bacon for your sheets right there. It's kind of great.
Exactly. You spend a third of your life in your sheets. They make a difference with how you sleep. Start getting better sleep with the best sheets. Brooklinen.com, the best, most comfortable sheets. No big markup. Their whole philosophy is the most beautiful, comfortable home essentials with no crazy prices. No unnecessary markups and fees. Most beddings marked up as much as 300%. But me and Greg Miller, both of us were like, not in our households. We're not doing that. We're going to Brooklinen. Brooklinen is the fastest growing bedding brand in the world with over 20,000 5-star reviews.
Now, Tim Gettys.
Yes.
I always ask Greg Miller, what comes between you and your Brooklinen? Greg always says nothing. What comes between you and your Brooklinen?
I mean, for me, it's usually underwear.
Underwear?
Yeah.
You an underwear sleeper?
I'm an underwear sleeper. I need a layer on me.
Need a layer on you.
And that's why I'm a big fan of the Brooklinen of the sheet.
Yeah. So
I know it's a debate on whether or not people like that top sheet.
Yeah.
I'm a top sheet guy.
So you want to feel that top sheet, but you want the layer right there.
This is luxury bedding, underpriced. You have to try these sheets out today. These are the most comfortable sheets I've ever slept on. Brooklinen.com has an exclusive offer just for you guys. Get $20 off and free shipping when you use promo code GAMES at Brooklinen.com. Brooklinen is so confident that they offer a risk-free 60-night satisfaction guarantee and a lifetime warranty on all their sheets and comforters. The only way to get $20 off and free shipping is to use promo code GAMES at Brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com. Promo code GAMES. Brooklinen. These are the best sheets ever.
Woohoo!
Reader mail time. Don't have too much. This comes from the Sabateur.
Ooh.
Yesterday, you and John were talking about crossplay with Fallout 76, and it was brought up as to why PlayStation would want to make it happen from a business perspective. I think a good reason would be because crossplay is the future. If a game like Fallout 76 came out and was crossplay on Xbox and PC, but not PlayStation, I think this would add buying power to the Xbox for someone getting a console. And if this keeps happening, it'll be hard to hide behind the, quote, "we are winning the console war" excuse. What are your thoughts?
I don't think it's as big a deal right now. For Xbox and PC to have crossplay as we would like it to be. I think that it will become a bigger deal, mostly from a marketing and public relations standpoint. I think that right now the narrative is that PlayStation is being arrogant and obdurate. I think Fortnite accelerated that narrative because it really was obnoxious to suddenly discover you couldn't register your Switch account if you already had your PlayStation 1. And that particular egregious, I think honestly, dissatisfying feature brought this into display. When it comes to whether or not they're going to offer crossplay on every game, in terms of real impact, it's not that big a deal. In terms of perceived impact, thanks to what happened to Fortnite, it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
And I don't think that right now there are enough people that are going to care about PC, Xbox crossplay, especially given controller differences and how a mouse gives you certain advantages in certain kinds of games and a controller gives you certain advantages in certain kinds of games. That's going to be harder to reconcile. In the future, and as we move toward that weird streaming service, God knows what platforms are going to look like, it becomes a big one. Your thoughts, Tim?
You absolutely nailed every single thought I have in my head. Thank you, Jared. I love you. I appreciate you.
I love you
You're
and
very
appreciate you, Tim
smart.
Gettys.
No, not today. Not today.
I'm here.
Not today. Next reader mail comes from Tyler Kabbs. The new president of Nintendo had this to say recently about the 3DS. Quote, Mr. Furukawa is of the belief that the device is that the device still has advantages over the Switch, and stated Nintendo was considering various possibilities in regards to a successor for the popular handheld device. The only advantage I can think of is the clamshell design to protect the screen and being small enough to fit in a pocket. What advantages do you think he's referring to, and do you think this would be a wise decision?
Battery life, install base, development cost, familiarity of developers with the hardware. Those are the first four that come to mind. Battery life, it lasts longer than the Switch does currently.
But we're talking about a successor here.
Yeah, I understand that. But if you're using less powerful hardware, less power consuming hardware, which is almost certainly what you're going to find in a successor, then, and it's going to be backward compatible. You're not going to do this if it's not. There's no reason to build a non-backward compatible successor to the 3DS. Then it's going to have superior battery life. It's going to have a similar dev cycle for the same reasons. Why take people off the platform that already works? Why spend more money on high-res assets when you could spend less money on low-res assets, which means cheaper development, which means more studios can build games for your platform, which means that you can charge less. There's a lot of ways that plays out. Another big one is I just said that is cheaper. Plain fact of the matter is the thing is much cheaper than a Switch, and that counts a lot more than I think people in our circles give it credit for. I can go out and dig up an old 3DS for somebody for like 50, or 2DS for somebody for $50 now. Mm-hmm. It's been $200, and I could buy my kid 30 used games and a 2DS.
But by the time that this future could even happen, of the successor to the 3DS coming out, it's not going to launch at $50. It would be launching at how much? And at that point, where's the Switch at?
I think at whatever price point it launches at, it'll be half what the Switch is.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Whatever the Switch ends up being at that point in time?
Then I think you'd launch, if you did it. I'm not even sure you'd do it, but if you're going to.
I just don't think you do it. I think that it makes no sense. It makes a lot of sense to me to ride the 3DS into the ground as long as possible because there is that install base. But getting people to have to buy a new system that's not the Switch, I think is very backwards thinking. And I think that part of what makes the Switch so important is the fact that it's not splitting Nintendo's devs into between different projects. It's having everything focusing on one system that is portable and home console.
By the way, I tend to agree with you on that. I think that most of this is probably PR speak because they're not ready to kill it yet because it's profitable. Mm-hmm. Never say you're going to kill something while it's still making money. Yeah. Never do that.
Yeah.
He's not going to come out and say, yes, this is the last DS, because right now they're still making bukus of money on it.
Yeah.
So he's going to say, yeah, we're thinking about the future. And then one day when they're not making bukus of money anymore, he'll probably say, yeah, it's probably done for now.
I still think we're going to get a portable only Switch, and I think that will be the successor to this, where it then meshes it into the Switch family.
I think that when they micronize it, there's a real possibility something like that will happen. I think that's probably more of a ways out than you and I've talked about before, but I do think it's entirely possible they go that way.
Dr. Funder writes in and says, I wanted to write in today and ask a simple question. Is anyone else struggling to pay $60 for a game? For context, this year so far, I've yet to pay $60 for a game. This is due to excellent indie and free-to-play games like Hollow Knight and Fortnite on the Switch, providing hundreds of hours of content for bargain bin prices or actual bargain bin price games on the Xbox One with their excellent weekly sales that were just released a few months ago. This has made it difficult for me to pull the trigger on games I'm interested in playing, like Project Octopath Traveler and Far Cry 5, because I know in a few months they will be on sale and I can play a countless number of other games while I wait. Thanks, guys, and glad prom went well for y'all.
Oh, that's a great question. I have spent a lot of money on $60 games this year because I cover games. Mm-hmm. And while I get some codes, I don't get codes for everything. And so if I'm going to be knowledgeable about a game and go talk about it, I got to buy it and play it. However, were I not keeping up in this regard, there would be very few games I'd be paying $60 for because, like this young gentleman, I can simply wait a few months and get them for 40 or less. And in the meantime, I can play things like Hollow Knight. So I think he's got a great point. And I think that there is absolutely nothing wrong and a whole lot right with savvy purchasing around video games at a time when there are more games that we can buy at full price.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I just think that there's more quality games coming out on a weekly basis now than ever before. And that's on every level of games, whether it's AAA, indie, somewhere in the middle, whether it's on the Switch, whether it's on console, whether PC, Steam, all this stuff. It's crazy how there is never going to be a shortage of games to play, and people's backlists and backlogs are only going to get larger and larger and more varied with the amount of remasters we're getting, with the amount of old games being brought back, new games coming forward. It's nuts. And I love that, and especially when there's things like Xbox Game Pass, where it's like, it's a subscription service that gets you not an unlimited amount of games, but a large amount of games.
Yeah.
And when you add that type of deal on top of all this stuff, I don't know. And even going back to the Amazon thing, for most games, getting 20% off, like, why would you pay $60?
Yeah, the only time I tend to do it beyond when I have to do it for work is, well, there's two other occasions. One is if it's just that must-play game. For example, I got a God of War code.
Yeah.
But if I hadn't, I'd have bought God of War.
Exactly.
Because that was the game to play at the time. Second is I have enough, I'm not rolling in dough, but I have enough income right now that I can prioritize, hey, a couple of times a year, there's a game I just want to vote with my wallet on. Octopath Traveler, for example. If I don't get a code for Octopath Traveler, I'm going to buy the full version of Octopath Traveler because I want people to make full 80 to 100 hour high quality JRPGs for $60. And I want them to give me the whole game for that price. And I keep talking about wanting that. That means that when that kind of game comes out, I have to buy it.
Yeah.
So there's that too.
I can't remember the last game that I bought for full price $60.
Really?
There's just too many deals like Gamers Club Unlocked and Amazon Prime's 20% off thing and ways to find discounts that $60 is just nuts. Like, absolutely nuts. I think Smash Bros. On Wii U was probably the last time I spent full price $60. And that was just because at that point, I don't think the Amazon Prime thing was
although, and again,
there.
to be fair, we do live in code world too.
And codes as well. But like I'm not, that's just a part of it. I'm talking about, like, I do buy games, and when I do, it's not for $60 because it's so easy to find ways to not do that.
Yeah, for most games, I agree that there are generally speaking deals that break, especially if you're just a little patient. That said, again, if you can find ways to pay full, this sounds almost gross to say, but I do think it's nice to just throw money at things you really want to exist that are in danger of not existing anymore. In this age of single player games not being popular on the investor end, even though they're extremely popular on the player end, I want to throw money at single player games. Like, please, I want to buy this. So that
figure
you'll
out
keep
the best way
making
to do that, to get that money to them, though. Like, and that's the thing is, like, when you do buy from Amazon, not all the money's going to the Project Octopath.
So sometimes it's best to buy digital in that case. Yeah.
Justin Greene writes in with the final question of the day. My question is related to a news article Andrea brought up last week. A QA tester that allegedly leaked the last Fortnite Meteor event broke an NDA. Andrea followed up with, "That's why you don't break NDAs, kids." So my question is this. How is what the QA tester did different from what sources do when they share information with journalists like Jason Schreier at Kotaku? Are these sources also breaking an NDA of some equivalent? It seemed like you both agreed this was a dumb move by the QA tester, risking his future career in video games, but you praised Jason on his ability to find great sources and break stories from people who work in the games industry. How are these two things different? On a personal note, I'm a 30-year-old gamer with a wife and 2 kids. Life can get pretty busy after family and can be even more difficult to find time for games. You, the whole Kind of Funny crew are seriously like best friends to me. Well, shout out to you, Justin.
Okay, so this is a great question.
I was not. This was a Greg and Andrea thing, so we're jumping in here a little bit blind, but
I think it's a beautiful question. First off, I'm not a real journalist, kids, so don't think that I have any real authority to talk about this. I think I'm a kind of a media entertainment dude, and not particularly a journalist. So asking Schreier might actually give you a better answer than I ever could. I regard NDAs and also embargoes, which are different, by the way. An NDA is actually something you sign that has legal repercussions. An embargo is a handshake agreement that says somebody asked me to do something in exchange for information, and I'm agreeing to abide by that in order to get the information, but it's not like somebody can come out and sue me if I decide to break that gentleman's agreement. In both of those cases, I regard myself as somebody who's bound by what I've been told in that situation. So the information there is not something that I have a particular, I believe, ethical right to share publicly and distribute to everyone because you chose to tell me that under certain conditions that I agreed to. Now, that's as a primary source. I do think there's a tremendous difference between that and what Jason does, reaching out to people that may have signed NDAs or may have agreed to embargoes, or more importantly in his, I think, NDAs, or that are simply working in workplaces where these things are not necessarily supposed to get out. Because Jason is going to people and trying to, as a journalist, dig up truth, particularly in regard to issues that may need to be highlighted but aren't being. Jason's not out there trying to create controversy for the sake of controversy. He's trying to make sure that news gets reported. He is a real journalist.
He's a real journalist, and that is the difference. And it is his job to do that. It is the job of the people on the inside to not say stuff. So when they do, that's where the difference is. It's that it's not like Jason's sources are. We're giving them the thumbs up and this guy the thumbs down. All of them are like, they're doing stuff, they're saying things they're not supposed to be saying, but that's not Jason's fault. But there's repercussions there of Jason and Kotaku getting blacklisted from a lot of different places.
They have to pay the penalty for those things.
And that's the kind of give and take of the situation.
And also there's the question of there are times that those stories are worth breaking because they're ethically oriented. I mean, the fact of the matter is that we work in a pretty great industry where a lot of great things happen, but sometimes developers and publishers do things that are wrong. Ethically wrong, that are practices that can be exploitative to their staff, that can be exploitative to their customers. And in those situations, a worker may have signed a piece of paper that says that they are legally liable for not reporting that. And yet, that information is likewise something that people, it turns out, have a right to be told because they're being exploited. Sometimes in those situations, a leak by a person from the inside is the proper thing to do, even if it's not the civically legal thing to do. I talk about civic law versus criminal law because those are two very different things. You're not a criminal for breaking an NDA, but you may be civically liable and able to be sued. And those are two different kinds of law. People tend to confuse those and not realize they're very different than one another. There are times that sometimes the story does just need to get out, or otherwise companies will keep doing awful, awful things. And that's important as well. And that's why I think Jason's work is important. It's not just that he has some kind of entitlement. I'm a journalist and you're not. You know, people talk about the guy breaking the embargo on the CD Projekt Red audio. Have you heard this?
Yeah.
You know, the situation there was dude walked in, made the gentleman's agreement, and then leaked it. Absolutely knew what he was doing. And what he was doing was not the intention that he'd agreed to. He is not going to be legally liable for that because I was in that room and I didn't sign an NDA. So far as I'm aware, nobody can be sued for that. But he's never going to go into another closed meeting again. And that'll be that. No one would trust him.
Yeah, totally.
And, so
now it's time to squad up. You can go to kindoffunny.com/KFGD and let us know what game you need some help with. Just like Tyler Kabbs did. Oh man, he got a question and a squad up in this episode. He needs some help in Pokemon Go. His friend code is 1841-4045-1819. He says, with Pokemon Go adding gift giving, I would love to spread the love with gifts of Pokeballs, revives, and Alolan eggs. Add me as a friend and I will be sure to share gifts with you and hopefully you send some back my way. Thanks. His number again is 1841-4045-1819.
Those intuitive friend codes.
Oh,
always
yeah,
the
dude.
best way to meet
Why
people.
not?
It's also in the description.
It's also in the description. If
Excellent.
You want that. And now it's time for You're Wrong. You can go to kindoffunny.com/You're Wrong. Let us know what we get wrong during this show. Just like, we don't have too many today. Ignacio Rojas did. He says, Canada's not a socialist country. It's a social democracy.
I'm well aware of that. Also, many democracies are socialistic.
Kabbs says the gap between Yoshi's Island and New Super Mario Bros. Is 11 years, from 95 to 2006. Zach says, just to mention for deals of the day, the PlayStation mid-year sale started today with over 500 great deals going till July 11th. So go check that out.
Oh, yeah. While we're on deals, the Steam Summer Sale is still going on, but it's almost over.
Yeah.
We probably should have mentioned that. Forgot.
And then Nya Cat says, Tim said there are great deals like Best Buy Gamers Club and Amazon Prime. Do not pay $60. Someone please tell him that Best Buy Gamers Club is dead and people can no longer sign up for it. I am aware of that. I'm saying that there are systems like that out there.
Yeah, actually, I think we read in one of the articles that Best Buy Gamers Club was
totally.
dead.
So-
From Twinfinite, because I'm in the pocket of Big Twinfinite.
Big Twinfinite. Tomorrow's host should be me and Gary. Get excited. Widow Wednesdays.
Widow Wednesday's return? Wow.
Until then, I love you. Where's the light? There it is. Let's do another one. There we go.
That was the worst handshake we've ever done. Thanks.